Jasmine Starr, thank you for being here.
I am so happy, Christy. Thank you for having me.
Listen, I love you. You are one of my favorite people to learn from, to text, to laugh with, all the things. I have learned so much from you in the social media world, and I'm so excited because aside from the fact that we get to have you on the show today, you are going to be with us in like a week and a half at Business Boutique, speaking on stage. You were a freaking hit last time. The people love you, and you're going to be back, and I'm so excited about it.
And I'm very excited. And just in case, full transparency, when people say like, oh, are you and Christy really friends? It is like, I literally sent Christy a text this morning. I said, girl, do it to me straight. Are we on video? Are we using this video? Because if so, I am the mother of a very active daughter who, wasn't sleeping last night. I was like, do I need mascara? And like a good friend and like a brilliant businesswoman, she said, do a little makeup.
Well, I'm so excited because listen, you are an expert in your space of social media specifically. You know all kinds of online marketing, but you really, really know social media. And let me tell you, one of the things I think I see people get caught up in all the time when it comes to social media on any platform. And I've heard you teach about this. You talked about this on the Business Boutique podcast when you were on that a while back. But I see a lot of people get caught up in the numbers, specifically the number of followers. So they just obsess over, I need more followers, more eyeballs. And what I love about you teach is you really help them reframe that of not so much the quantity of numbers, but the quality of engagement, the quality of the people that you do have. Talk a little bit about the numbers we should be paying attention to help people understand and let go of this pressure to just have 1 million followers. And instead, this is what really matters in terms of especially to your business, which we'll talk about in a minute.
I love this. So I'm known for being a little bit holy and a little bit hood. So the holy answer, I'm going to cite somebody who we all deeply respect. It's Dale Carnegie. He said, your business will go farther being genuinely interested in 2 other people than trying to get 200 people interested in you. He said, he made this statement far before social media ever existed, but the principle stays the same. And so if we go in and we care about 2 other people, we have to understand that those 2 people are going to tell 2 other people, and those 2 people are going to tell 2 other people. And that is how you create a tiny but mighty network of people who will transform your business. Now, the hood side, the hood version is let me just spill some tea. And I have worked with influencers, people who have hundreds of thousands of followers, and they can't build a business. Not because they're not good, brilliant, smart, beautiful, gifted. They just do not have the acumen or the funnels or the foundation set up to even intercept what a business could be. And so when we know that there are small business owners with less than 1,000 followers who are making 6 figures a year, and it is more common than people realize, then what we need to ask ourselves is, how can I cultivate the followers I have now to get what I want in my business? All of a sudden, you're not creating content for more cotton candy. You're just taking a little bit of what you have right now and say, how can I enjoy this filet mignon, this petite filet mignon? Because everything you want is right in front of you. You just have to look at it in a different way.
Yeah, I love that because it sets people free too from that pressure of just chasing the quantity and go, oh, I have what I need right now to turn this into something that works for my business and works for them. One of the holdups I also see is a lot of business owners spend a lot of time on social media. They're trying to make all their pictures perfect and follow all the algorithms, and they just spend a lot of time, but they have no idea if the time that they're spending is turning into dollars. So how do you help people focus their efforts on the aspects of social media that really make a difference? That say, if you're going to spend X amount of hours a week, spend it in this way or check it against this litmus test to know, is it doing what you want it to do? Because if it's not doing what you want it to do, it's time wasted. And we don't want people to waste time. We want people to actually use it and leverage it in the right way. So how do you help people make sure they're not just wasting their time there, they're actually able to measure that against what their goals are?
So I'll get to the root of it. There isn't a clear and defined way of measuring ROI unless you're paying for paid ads, because then you have analytics and metrics to see how many people were landing on that lead page, how many people were landing on your website, how many people converted. You will have a pixel at the end. So there are ways of clear delineation. But let's just talk about organic traffic, because I'm a girl from the hood, daughter of an immigrant. I want to see, I'm a squirrel trying to get a nut. Can we make $1 at 15 cents? So if we're strictly talking about organic, what we need to first understand is it's going to be important for people to limit the time that they are marketing their business. Now, please understand that just because you're scrolling through your feed, that's not your work. That's you wasting time. So let's be very clear. If you are planning to market your business and part of your workday is to market your business, let's just say it's 25 minutes a day. Within those 25 minutes a day, I do not want you consuming, I want you creating. Now, I do not mean posting 22 minutes to create the most beautiful photo. No. Show up as you. Show up as the value that you provide for your followers. And then when we talk about creating, it's creating content for other people's accounts. It's creating direct messages for other people's accounts. It's almost like a biblical principle. It's like what you give more than you receive. Yes. And this goes across the board on engagement. If you want to see an ROI, what about human value? Because over time, we have to understand that on social media, it's not as if a transaction exists. Like, I must get a transaction within the first 20 days, the 25 days. No. Social media is about being social. Social media is about awareness. How do you then move the needle to sales? That goes into personal connection in comments, in direct messages. You give them the engagement, bringing awareness to your business, and then you're closing the deal by dropping links, not publicly, but on a one-to-one. It's not exactly scalable, but man, it is powerful.
Okay, and I love how you talk about this, because what's so interesting is when you break this down, like social media is social, like, duh, we know that, but we just forget. We think it's this technical foreign language. And what I love to remind my business owners, especially women that I work with, is the skills that you need to be successful in social media are skills you already have. Yes. You're great at connecting with people. Yes. Go do what you know how to do. And you're just telling them, do this through the platform of social media, through direct messages, comments, and so on.
Yes. And I want to be very clear that there's a good chance that the business owners who are attending the live event, there's a good chance that the business owners who sit under you in coaching, there's a good chance they're not part-time anchors on QVC. Yeah. Good chance. And yet people show up like Instagram's their own QVC. Buy my thing. My thing's on sale. My hair care, here's essential oils. Buy my photography, here's my videography. And it's like, nobody's going to social media to be sold to. The idea for us is to create entertaining, educational, or empowering content that highlights your business in relation and benefits to your followers. Your social media is not about you. Your social media is not about your business. Your social media is about what you provide for your followers. Now, I'm strictly speaking is if you're using social media for your business. Right. If you've got a private account and you're going to Disney World, you do you. There's no rules. But we have to be strategic. If we're using for our business and we expect a transaction, if not now, then tomorrow or next week, then we have to know it's all about them.
Yes, I love that reminder. It is the reminder of it's not look at me. It's look at you and what you can do for which we know that in business. Business is about serving, but your social media is a megaphone for you to be able to do the same exact thing. And I love that reminder. Okay, so how do you help people build confidence around showing up on social media? Because I think one of the biggest things that holds us back is not a lack of ability, but just lack of confidence, lack of willingness to put yourself out there and try because they're scared they're going to do it wrong or whatever. And so talk a little bit about just pushing past that fear to show up, to be able to serve and provide value to your followers.
Okay, so remember that 50% holy, 50% hood?
Yeah, let's have it.
Let's start with the hood. The hood version is, listen, it took you a while to learn a language. You didn't come out of the womb finding your words. It took practice. You didn't hop on a bike and immediately know how to ride, nor did you get into a car and immediately know how to drive. It took practice. So action is the antidote to fear. The only way you're going to learn how to be on social, even though you're social every day, you walk into your grocery store, you walk into the post office, like you're social, you know how to do it, trust me. Before you ever say, I can do that, you must do it every single day. Now, if you don't want to do it every day, no problem. But just please understand that your proficiency in speaking, your proficiency in cycling, your proficiency in driving, and your proficiency on social media will map your actions, period, the end. That's just the real facts. You want to get at it, do it every day. Now, the holy version, the nicer version is, if not you, then who? And if not now, then when? And darling, you are enough. Nobody will give you the permission that you so ache for. I don't care if you didn't get it from your mom, your great-grandpappy, the friends, your teachers. I don't care if you were always the last kid picked on the kickball team because you had an iron lung and a peg leg. If not you, then who? You are uniquely qualified to talk about something. And I am not saying that you are going to be destined to be the person who is the biggest person in every industry who's going to transform and part Red Seas. I am talking about you are uniquely qualified to talk to one person, and that one person will make a single transaction. And what you give them in return is something so valuable. You must first believe that you are enough. You must first believe that it is now. And you must believe that the thing that you're selling, a course, essential oils, hair care, photography, is going to give them the thing they so deeply desire. If you have that, you're already way ahead of the curve.
I love that. And I love this reminder too, because I think that people tend to mistake confidence as like, oh, it's this gene that certain people are born with. You know what I did a coaching session in my academy, which is my online coaching group, months ago on sales. And I used the analogy of, I talk about practice and how you get, like anything, social media, you get good by practicing.
Yes.
But it's not that I'm so confident in these things that I do. It's that I'm willing to be bad. And I think some of us, it's not a lack of confidence. It could almost be pride that's like, I'm not willing to be bad. I'm not willing to fail. I'm not willing to be a beginner. I'm not willing to show my...
Can we tap here for a second? Can
Yes.
we tap here? Because people say, I'm not willing to be bad. And there is a group of people, but I do think that there's this segment of people that even when they hear the trailer story, and then even when we hear about the boys look at you backing up the truck, there are people, a small segment of people who I want to speak to very clearly right now, is they will look at you and say, yeah, but you're never going to see those country boys again. It doesn't matter. But you see, Christy, when I show up on social media, that girl from 10th grade, my mother-in-law, my cousins, my second cousins, they're all going to have an opinion. And it's not that people don't want to be bad. It's they don't want to be bad in front of people they know and who will have an opinion around them at the Thanksgiving table or at the PTA. And to those people, I want to just sit down and shake you by the shoulder and then give you a big hug. Is that your mother-in-law and your second cousins and your neighbors and the president of the PTA does not pay your bills.
Yes.
Somebody else's opinion stop you from speaking your truth or marketing your business, then I'm just going to look at you and say, you don't want it bad enough.
Yes, yes.
For people to go out and say, despite your unbeliefs, despite the doubt and fear that you're putting in my mind, despite that, I will still rise because I know I'm here to do something, and you aren't going to stop me doing that. We must all make the cognizant decision to do that. And for anybody who says, oh, Jasmine's beyond that point, every time I set up my dang phone and a ring light to record a reel, I don't want to record. That's what I tell myself, is that I am willing to do things that other people are not willing to do, and I am on the fast track to get what I want. Why? Not because I'm special, great, or good. I'm just willing to do the things that other people aren't willing to do. That's it.
I love that too. And the other thing is such a good reminder for those people that are like, well, I don't want, what these people think or what they're going to say. You have no idea who you're paving the way for. Some haters are going to stay haters. Some of them, you might actually inspire them to do something because even though they criticize you in the beginning, they come around and go, hey, how'd you do that? Hey, teach me how to do that. Or, oh, help me do that. Where you are setting people free by paving the way, stepping forward, even though you're uncomfortable, stepping forward in your fear that inspires them. Hey, maybe there's something I can push past this fear or step outside my comfort zone. So I love that reminder because there's this myth out there around anything that requires courage and confidence that it's only a certain group of people, it's only a certain gene that people have. Well, you don't know me, you don't know my personality, you don't know my story. It's like, no, this is available to anyone, anytime, if you have the courage to take those actions. I love how you started with that, of the actions that you take are going to determine your outcome and your pacing and all of that. Okay, so social media is one of those things that we have this love-hate relationship with. We know we need to show up. We know that we need to be social. Let's talk a little bit about what are some goals to set around for it. There's so much available to us on social media, so many platforms, so many features. What are some goals? And let's speak to the beginner. Okay. I want to speak to the person they're like, I'm overwhelmed by all of it. Give me one platform or one thing to look at or one thing to try, like some really simple action steps to start with to build that confidence and get that going.
I love that. So let's break it down in just 3 steps. Right now, we're going to focus on choosing the platform. Now, I want to be very clear. You're not choosing the platform that you like. You're choosing the platform that your dream customer exists on.
Yes. Which
at this point in time, if it says, yeah, but they're on everywhere. They are, but where are they spending most of their time? We had a conversation. What is the default when they open their phone? What's that default app that they're clicking on? If for you, it's Facebook groups, and you're like, Jasmine, I don't like Facebook, that's okay, because when you're marketing your business, you're going to do things you don't want to do in order to get the things that you want. Right. So if you decide it's Facebook groups, if you decide it's Instagram, if you decide it's like LinkedIn or TikTok, you're going to first choose the platform that your dream customer is on. And then you're going to push all other platforms out of your mind. We don't want overwhelm. We want simplicity. Then we want to do is create a plan. You're first going to determine how many times do I want to post a week. Now, ideally, The more you do, the faster you get results. So I would recommend once a day. But if you're like, Jasmine, I'm busy, I can't do that, I'm going to say 3 times a week. Whatever your number is, this is you holding your hand and doing a Girl Scout pledge. I'm going to stick with this. And the way that you stick to it is by creating a plan. And I always recommend to take a big look back. What does your month look like? If you're going to be posting 3 times a week, you got to know what you're going to be posting. Do you need to create all of those posts in advance? Not at all. But you have to know the target if you want to know where the arrow is going to land. So if in that first week, you're going to be doing a post about the products you sell, and then you're going to be talking about why you started your business, and then another post about who inspired your business. Once we actually know the visuals of what we're talking about, how are we going to show the product? Should I be showing myself? Should I be showing the person who inspired my business? Then what we're going to do is to determine the type of content we're going to create. You can go live. You don't need a videographer. You have your phone. Is it going to be a photo? Or are you going to do a reel? So what we just broke down is, first and foremost, choosing the platform. Secondly, choosing the rate at which you post. Once a day, 3 times a week. Then you're going to be looking at the visual. What do I need to create in order for somebody to see it? That's your plan. A 3-step plan to getting real about what it is you want to do. Because what I see is people say, I want to do this, but I don't know how. I want to do this. I'm so overwhelmed. You're not overwhelmed. You just haven't taken the time to create a plan. Because when you create a plan, it's doable. Then you allocate the time that you need to create, and then you show up. It just takes discipline and consistency.
It's like anything. If you can see it, you can do it. You got a plan, any plan. Any plan is a good plan. It's better than no plan, because when you see it, you can do it. Okay, one last question for you, because I know we're running out of time. What do you think is the biggest mistake that people make, especially business owners make, when it comes to social media, so that we can be aware of it and avoid it?
We say it quite often, again and again, is that when people are ready to sell something, promote something, highlight something, they're ready. They're ready to come out. And the issue then becomes when your followers realize that your cadence is showing up only when you're ready to promote an event, a speaking event, a product, a service, something's on sale, or a promotion. Then your audience is less likely to engage because they feel used.
Yeah.
That's just it. So if you want to sell and if you want to promote, it comes at the cost of building trust, consistency, and discipline to let people know that you care about them, their aspirations, by educating, empowering, or entertaining. You do those things far before you ever decide to sell or promote, and that will be a game changer. That's how you see the after effects of social media.
Yeah, I love that. It's like we were saying a minute ago, like it is with anything in business or life, it's true in social media. Give what you want to get. Give the value, and you'll get the engagement, get the sales, and all that as well.
Right.
Jasmine,
Right.
you are so much fun. I love talking to you. I love learning from you. I love hanging out with you. And you are going to be with us so soon at Business Boutique here in Nashville. For you guys that want to learn more and hear from Jasmine, she's going to be speaking along with all of our speakers. And you can still join us on live stream. And you can get your ticket at businessboutique.com. Jasmine, give us a tease of what you're going to be talking about. I'm so excited.
A little bit of the tidbit is we're going to be talking about how to beat the algorithm. Every social platform, Christy, every single one, LinkedIn, Facebook, Instagram, Snapchat, TikTok, they all have an algorithm. So we're going to talk about the principles that we need to beat so that we get, number 1, your content is shown, and number 2, we're getting people to engage, and number 3, we're attracting not just followers, but followers who are primed to become customers. We're going to get all into that in just less than a couple weeks.
People's hands are going to cramp from writing so many great notes. And I love that story about your daughter, because 2019 was when my daughter, Mary Grace, was born. And I think on stage that year, I had her 5 weeks before that year. And I stood on stage and I told the story of praying for her and how God answered our prayers. And it's been so cool to see all that come full circle in your life. And you are just such a gift. And Jasmine, I can't wait to hang out with you. Thanks so much for taking some time to teach us today. Love you, friend.
Bye.